I'm Laura Raicovich. I'm the Director of Global Initiatives for Creative Time. I visited Stockholm for the first time almost 15 years ago, and it was on this trip that was actually organized by Public Art Agency of Sweden that Creative Time's director Ann Pasternak and I began our friendship. Anne and I struck up a rapport here in part because during our public talks, we both referred to Agnes Dennis's 1982 work, Wheatfield, A Confrontation, which comprised several acres of wheat being grown on a brown field that was in Lower Manhattan, where Battery Park City has now been built. And we each actually claimed the project during our talks for our own respective institutions. Today I'm back in Stockholm with Anne, having collaborated with Magdalena and her team at Public Art Agency here for the last 18 months to realize the summit. And to bring things full circle, not long ago, Agnes Dennis, the artist who made the Wheatfield, asked us to share some thoughts with you all today because she couldn't be here. And she said, plant a seed, tend, nurture it for future generations to harvest. The future is unused and vulnerable. Handle with care. We are a global society without a unified plan or perspective. The future was yesterday, make a new plan. So this symmetry is particularly poignant for me as I prepare to depart Creative Time to become the next director of New York City's Queens Museum. 3.5 years ago, Anne and I started a conversation about what a global department for Creative Time might look like, and I subsequently started the global initiatives. The goals were simple, but the reality was complex. Creating a platform for international exchange rather than a broadcast style of transmission was at the core of our ideals. We wanted to create a network of artists committed to the confluence of art and politics, embedded in the conditions of their contexts. This was essential. We hoped that through our programs we could begin to shift the roles that artists could play in society. As a team, we embarked on this mission and created a website and media outlet, Creative Time Reports, which features artists' unflinching perspectives on world news and current events. Not only do we produce this artist-driven content, but we also share it with mainstream media free of charge. In order to reach the broadest possible audiences, we've collaborated with The Guardian, Salon, Al Jazeera, and many other international media outlets. And I hope you all were able to get a glimpse of some of the content that we shared yesterday downstairs in the cafe on the second floor. We also sent a group of artists, US-based artists, around the globe on an experimental residency program. And today, of course, we're in Stockholm continuing the experiment in convening and field building that is the summit in a profound collaboration with Public Art Agency, with all of you here in this room, and with everyone watching via live stream. So thank you, Creative Time, Anne, NATO, and all of my dear colleagues for such exceptional years of work together. And particularly I want to thank Marissa and Kareem, who are really the heart and soul of Creative Time Reports, and Sally and Dion for your brilliance and grace in pulling off the summit this year. The summit has achieved a number of major milestones, including most obviously its production on a different physical territory, which has been a significant learning experience for us all. Working abroad has also enabled us to partner with the Human Hotel, which is an artist-run project that has paired 20 people who've come in to Stockholm from out of town with local hosts with shared interests. And we've also been able to include Ghana Think Tank's workshops, which have collected local problems here in Stockholm from anonymous contributors and shared them with their think tanks, which include groups of refugees from Eritrean and Sudanese camps and incarcerated youth in US prisons. And here at the summit during the lunch breaks, you can talk to Ghana Think Tank about the best ideas generated and talk about their implementation. Additionally, there are an array of groups, and this we're really particularly proud of, who are using the summit as a natural meeting point for their parallel and very important work. The European Network of Public Art Professionals are meeting tomorrow to discuss their ongoing activities. The Dutch development agency HIVOS is hosting a meeting with cultural producers from the Global South to address the shifting roles of public space. And just before the summit kicked off, Creative Time and Sunnylands hosted a gathering of thinkers, human rights and environmental activists, and legal experts to talk with Amar Kanwar. So now, it's my great pleasure to introduce Elizabeth Sorenson. Liz is a board member of Creative Time and the granddaughter of Lenore Annenberg, for whom our prize is named. It's an honor to work with Liz. And she's here to present this year's prize to Amar Kanwar, who will talk with the brilliant Carol Becker to share some of his groundbreaking work with us all.